Right now at 10, the eve of the election. Hear from La Crosse mayoral candidates before the polls open.
And how a federal grant will support local families affected by domestic violence.
Plus, Supreme Court weighing in on Catholic charities in a religious rights case.
WKBT La Crosse, this is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening, I'm Emily Brown.
And I'm Ken Kozarowski. Tomorrow, La Crosse residents will hit the polls to choose their next mayor.
Shondell Washington Spivey and Chris Calo are squaring off for the bid. Today, Shondell Washington Spivey held an Election Day Eve rally at the Damn Tasty.
Yeah, the event bringing his supporters together one last time to celebrate the work they've put into the race. Washington Spivey says he is feeling confident heading into the last 24 hours of his campaign.
I think that the community is truly going to show up. I think the community is really ready for change in City Hall. I think that this community truly understands the vision around how do we build a La Crosse where everyone belongs, and that's what I'm standing on, so I'm hoping that takes me through April 1st.
We also spoke to Common Council President Chris Calo. She says she's enjoyed knocking on doors and hearing from the people during her campaign.
Knocking doors, thousands of doors the last 8 weeks. So I've heard the hopes and dreams and concerns of residents. I've been listening all over the city, from the north side to the south side. And I think that I have what it takes to make sure that I can hit the ground running and get the city moving.
We're getting a look at some early voting numbers for tomorrow's election. When it comes to absentee ballots in La Crosse County, 14,726 ballots were sent out and 12,821 have been returned. Absentee ballots can be returned up to 8 p.m. tomorrow. And the Wisconsin DMV wants to help you vote. It's extending the hours you can get an ID tomorrow. Service centers will remain open until 6 p.m. And if you need an ID, make sure to bring a birth certificate, proof of identity, and Wisconsin residency.
Well, spending is surging in the final hours of the Wisconsin Supreme Court race. Reports have it nearing $100 million. That would be double the previous record just 2 years ago. Republican-backed Brad Schimmel facing off against the Democratic-backed Susan Crawford. The State Elections Commission saying nearly 645,000 early votes have been cast.
They are so wound up about the money in the race. You know why they're wound up? Because 2 years ago, they got all the money. And this time, we're more competitive. So their brains are exploding over this.
We need to make sure we turn out the vote. This is critical. This is about our Supreme Court. It is about our rights, and it's about our state.
Right now, liberals hold a 4-3 advantage on the bench.
Elon Musk has thrust himself into the Wisconsin Supreme Court race. Yesterday, hosting a town hall in Green Bay, his conservative group, America PAC, launched a petition offering signers $100. One Wisconsin woman says she signed it and plans to use the money to support a liberal-leaning judge. We spoke with her earlier about her decision to accept the money.
There were a lot of really hostile people saying that I'm a liar and a crook, and like as if by signing the petition, I have to vote for Brad Schimmel. It's like, no, that's totally illegal to pay for votes. So obviously that's not the point of the petition.
Both she and her husband signed the America PAC's petition. They are now expecting $300 from this movement.
So if you need help finding your polling place tomorrow, we've got you covered. Our elections page at news8000.com. You will also be finding answers to other election questions that you may have.
Well, it definitely was a beautiful sunny day today, but quite cold. A few people wearing scarves outside.
Absolutely, and potentially a little bit of snow on our election day tomorrow, Nicole.
Yes, we get another taste of winter as we go into the first day of April. Just can't shake it. It seems like it was a little bit cooler out there. We were below normal, 47 for that high in La Crosse, 42 in Eau Claire. Comparing that to our normal temperatures, we're about 5 to close to 10 degrees below that normal line. So again, a little bit chilly for this time of year, but nothing too absurd. We do have some snow on the way, though. It's going to stay quiet tonight and as we go into the first half of tomorrow, but if we take a broader look, we can see some thunderstorm activity off into western Nebraska. That's actually going to be the system that's bringing us our snow as we go into tomorrow. So here's a look at our lows going into tonight. A little bit of a chillier morning again. Start to the day tomorrow, staying in the 20s across most of the area. Everybody getting below freezing. Some locations north of I-94 even getting down into the teens. So a little bit chilly out there. As you go into your morning hours, we'll see cloud coverage start to increase throughout the day. We are also going to see some wind speeds increasing ahead of that snow as well. It's going to get a little bit windy in the evening. Could cause for some minor travel impacts, especially something to keep in mind if you're going out to the polls in the evening. So I'll be able to break it all down coming up in the full forecast.
All right. Thanks, Nicole.
A former hotel manager in the town of Campbell is sentenced for prostitution charges. 48-year-old James Ziss took a plea deal Friday. He pled guilty to 1 count of solicitation of prostitutes and 1 count of disorderly conduct and domestic abuse. Ziss was the former manager of the Norwood Inn and Suites. He allegedly allowed two women to live in the hotel in exchange for sexual favors. He was sentenced to 6 days in jail and 1 year probation. All other charges were dismissed as part of the plea deal.
Not guilty pleas for a man accused of selling drugs that led to an overdose death, and he is now bound over for trial. 47-year-old Todd Paff faces felony counts for possession with intent to deliver meth and fentanyl. He is also facing charges of first-degree reckless homicide.
The Department of Justice is awarding the Parenting Place a $600,000 grant. This is the 5th time they have been awarded the 3-year grant. It will allow the place to continue its work with families impacted by domestic violence. The program, funded by the grant, provides free access to supervised visitation and safe exchange services for families that have experienced domestic violence.
With support, children can be spending time with both of their parents in a safe way, and it's the support of this program that makes that happen.
Last year, the program served a total of 52 families and 83 children.
Family and Children's Center in La Crosse is raising awareness of child abuse. It's in preparation of Child Abuse Awareness Month, which officially starts tomorrow. Community members today gathering to plant blue cutouts of children at FCC's headquarters.
The Blue Kids represent all the children across the nation and in our community that have been abused. And this is meant to create an awareness that child abuse has no place in our community.
FCC is partnering with Merchants Bank in Onalaska and Dahl Automotive, both of those organizations planting similar symbols on their locations.
Well, the Supreme Court seems likely to side with Catholic Charities after religious rights case hearing. The charities say Wisconsin violated the First Amendment's religious protections by denying tax exemptions. The decision could expand the types of groups that would receive a break under the amendment. Justices both raised concerns that the state was discriminating against certain religious groups by only giving exemptions to groups that instill their faith through worship or teachings.
Senator Tammy Baldwin's team visiting a massive distribution center in West Salem today. First Supply is developing a more than 300,000 square foot DC that's been about a decade in the making. Site managers offered members of Baldwin's team a tour of the facility. The building manager says the site will use some state-of-the-art automation aimed at serving their employees and reducing turnover.
50 to 75% is industry standard. So as we were thinking about the build of this facility, we wanted equipment that could adapt quickly to new operators, new users, for a new operator to be able to come in and operate that equipment within roughly 30 minutes.
First Supply's CEO says with tariff uncertainty ahead, it feels good to have lawmakers interested in the opportunities and challenges that local businesses face. The distribution center will initially have 40 employees.
Governor Tony Evers announced today $2 million in grant awards for flood resilience funding. It's to help local communities prevent and prepare for flooding events through projects like reducing erosion and reestablishing plant life. Vernon County will receive nearly $300,000, and the town of Shelby and La Crosse County will get more than $110,000.
Well, new rates start at La Crosse's parking ramps tomorrow. Parking will be $1 per hour Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Drivers can also take part in an optional 10-day rate instead. Parking will still be free on Sundays.
Road work on Wisconsin Highway 131 in Crawford County is underway. It's a $21 million project. The stretch of 131 between Soldiers Grove will be affected. You can use Wisconsin 60 and US 61 for detours. Work should be done by mid-November.
The La Crosse Police Department now looking for a new assistant chief as Jason Melby officially retired today. He started at the department back in 1993. He's been the assistant chief for the last 3.5 years.
Train Park is opening for the season this week. The City of La Crosse's Parks Department announced that All Abilities Train Park opens Tuesday at 9 a.m. The park will be open daily from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. A Toma woman is doing a whole world of good at her job of 40 years. Meet our March hometown hero right after the break.
PB&J?
P before we go.
P before we go.
P before we go.
See you tomorrow?
Yeah.
Breaking news tonight, President Donald Trump is officially weighing in.
Trump has endorsed Brad Schimmel in the race for Wisconsin Supreme Court. Trump called the election, quote, very important.
And Trump's right.
If we elect Susan Crawford to the Supreme Court, none of the good that he's trying to do nationally will trickle down to Wisconsin. I think the stakes have never been higher.
That's Trump's message to Wisconsin. This election is so important. Please get out and vote for Wisconsin's Brad Schimmel.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources now. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org.
If you want them to be safe, don't vote for him. When this man sexually assaulted a 10-year-old girl, Brad Schimmel let him off easy, calling it a one-time thing. When this man was caught with child porn, Schimmel gave him a plea deal after the man's lawyer gave Schimmel $5 grand. And when this man sexually assaulted 2 underage girls, Schimmel blamed the girls. Brad Schimmel won't protect your kids, but you can with your vote.
Being really good at something requires dedication, perseverance, focus, and patience. Because as we know, good things take time. Our hometown hero, Deb Cota Farmer, embodies this as she celebrates her 40th work anniversary with Goodwill.
Welcome. Have a great day.
40 years of Goodwill for Deb Cota Farmer.
The dream for anybody would be to have somebody on the team who's got 40 years of experience.
A dream come true for her fellow coworkers because Deb joined Goodwill North Central Wisconsin in 1985 and hasn't looked back.
I started out in La Crosse in the old Center Q Plaza when I opened up there, and we didn't have a huge mission portion, but it was growing at that point.
Her love for retail and helping people with employment is what's kept her around.
I found 2 things that I'm very passionate about, and that's how I stuck with it.
A perfect fit. Goodwill is founded on the mission of selling donated goods to fund job training programs for people with disabilities or other barriers to employment.
Seeing them in the community doing different jobs or employed, doing stuff that's making them live independently, that makes my day, and it makes me why I stay for 40 years.
All those years have paid off. Deb is monumental in the success of these programs, expanding the goodwill of the Toma Goodwill store, training youth with disabilities and veterans with the skills they need for employment.
She's really looked to by everybody who works here as really a subject matter expert in all things Goodwill.
We continue to see people see success out of coming here and joining our team for a short period of time, a long period of time.
A revolving door of loyal employees and customers.
Cutie pie. Look at all the hair. That's amazing.
No doubt, Deb is committed to the mission of Goodwill, and as long as there's growth, there's no stopping her.
I really enjoy what I do. 40 years have gone by very fast for me, and we got a lot of exciting things going to be happening with the organization as we grow, and I look forward to that. So, as long as I can keep doing it, I'm going to do it.
And if you know someone who's doing good works in your community, you can nominate them for our next Hometown Hero. You can do so by going to news8000.com and clicking on the Features tab. Well, states across the southeast seeing severe storms. The damage the storm left in its wake after the break.
And we have alert day conditions rolling in for tomorrow evening. I'll have all the details on how much snow you might be seeing coming up right after the break.
Brad Schimmel would ban abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest or the mother's health, and jail doctors who perform them. You have the right to make your own health care decisions. Don't let Brad Schimmel take that right away.
It's time to gear up for the season at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, your spring weather headquarters. Rain or shine, we've got the value you need to get your spring projects underway. Right now, select Miracle Grow Potting Mix $14.99, $12.99 for rewards members. Estate Premium 4-in-1 Lawn Treatment $49.99. And 20-pound bags of Blaine's Black Oil Sunflower Seed just $9.99 for rewards members. In-store or online, find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Protect your home with Tundra Seamless Gutters and Gutter Helmet from Asher Lasting Exteriors. Our highly trained technicians can install the complete water management system for your home with exclusive custom gutters and gutter helmet, guaranteeing you'll never clean your gutters again. Join us for our spring open house Friday and Saturday, April 4th and 5th at either showroom in Eau Claire or Onalaska. Enjoy super spring savings with up to 25% off your entire project. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for up to 12 months at Asher Lasting Exteriors.
Voters deserve to know what our records are.
Susan Crawford's record? Disturbing and dangerous. A 7-year-old girl sexually assaulted. The attacker faced 100 years. Crawford let him off with only 4.
I don't regret that sentence.
A 5-year-old violated. The predator should have rotted in prison. He got out in just 2 years. She protected them, not us.
I don't regret that sentence. I am proud of the work that I've done.
Susan Crawford, putting criminals over your kids.
Shop Wisconsin's best deals at Black River Furniture Outlet. Find unbeatable prices on sectionals, big or small, to fit every home. Great savings on Ashley sofas and love seats. Style and comfort at a price you'll love. Check out our wide selection of reclining and power furniture, plus custom options from Best Home Furnishings. Experience top-tier comfort with Catnapper Furniture, where relaxation is key. Black River Furniture Outlet, your upholstery headquarters. Family values, veteran-owned, and no corporate hassle. Open 7 days a week in Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Brad Schimmel would ban abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest or the mother's health, and jail doctors who perform them. You have the right to make your own health care decisions. Don't let Brad Schimmel take that right away.
Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions, your choice for quality, affordable windows, installed by our experienced team. Contact us or stop into our showroom today for your free estimate.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Well, some severe weather is striking the southeast.
Yeah, forecasters called for hail, heavy winds, and a few tornadoes from Louisiana to Georgia. Today's threats affected more than 80 million people across those states.
And severe storms claimed at least 2 lives over the weekend. A truck driver in Indiana had his vehicle blown over by severe winds, and in Oklahoma, a storm knocked a tree onto a trailer, killing 1 man inside.
A little bit more docile conditions over here.
Absolutely. The chill could be felt in the air, and we have the potential for some snow to be falling as you're heading to the polls tomorrow. Depends on the time, though. Let's get the full breakdown from Nicole Skalicki.
Yeah, we do have some snow coming in at just a very convenient time for everybody wanting to go out and vote. The good news is it's not looking like it'll be an overall extremely impactful snow, but if you want to possibly avoid any minor headaches, you could go a little bit earlier in the day or in the afternoon. Here's our highs for tomorrow. We're staying for the most part in the 40s across most of the area, seeing the mid 40s in some locations, 47 for your high, and La Crosse 40 for that high. It'll clear a little bit cooler to the north, but those temperatures will fall pretty quickly in order to support some snowfall across the area. We'll be dry through the morning hours and through the beginning of the afternoon as well, possibly picking up a few flakes off to Eau Claire in the early afternoon, but really that main band isn't coming through until the evening hours. Here we are at 4 p.m. Areas south of I-90 likely seeing rain or at least a wintry mix to start. That will be freezing a little bit later on, but whether or not it freezes in time for areas south of I-90 to even pick up snow is looking a little bit slim now. Maybe seeing a few flakes, but it's likely not going to be able to stick around for very long. Otherwise, everybody else still seeing nice flurries going throughout the evening, likely a more slushy snow since our temperatures will be right around freezing. Areas north of I-94 are going to continue to see those light flurries throughout the beginning of the overnight period too, holding on a little bit longer to that snow, and that's going to up the snow totals just a tiny bit for some of those locations. Again, south of I-90, we're going to be lucky to even see a trace, but I'm sure it's going to be gone pretty quickly because of that rain passing through. Areas north of I-94, that's the best chance to get any accumulation. Looking to see around 2 to 4 inches for our parts of the area, maybe a couple heavier isolated amounts the further north you go when that snow sticks around a little bit longer. Otherwise, after that snow moves out, we actually have a chance for some early morning thunderstorms going into Wednesday morning, mainly south of I-90, and even that is kind of just grazing our area. We're likely going to see some moderate rain with it, but whether or not we can pick up some of that thunderstorm activity is going to be pretty slim. A little bit of a chance for some glaze of ice up north of I-94. This is going to be on the farthest north line of our viewing area, but definitely the chance for a light glaze out there. Otherwise, we have a little bit of a break going into early Wednesday morning, and then throughout the afternoon, still seeing those showers, mainly south of I-90, going more towards south central Wisconsin, but everybody's still seeing the slight chance to see some light scattered showers throughout the day. Here's the rain amounts that we have. Again, the majority of them is really staying centered on to where that thunderstorm activity is. Otherwise, everybody else at least seeing around a 1/10, possibly to 3/4 of an inch of rainfall. The other story with this system is going to be the strong winds associated with it. This could make another potential hazard on your travel for tomorrow evening. With that snow falling, we'll have wind gusts around 35 to 40 miles an hour, and they're not going to be dying off until we get later into the day Wednesday. So a very gusty period ahead of us, especially if we can get some of that thunderstorm activity to move up into our area. Those would only emphasize the wind gusts. Other than that, we have a very quiet end to the week and weekend, and even start to next week ahead of us. Maybe a few isolated chances for some rain or snow passing through, but really this is looking to be the last chance in the near future to have a little bit of a wet forecast. So I'm looking forward to the dry break.
Me too.
For sure. Thanks, Nicole. Coming up next in sports, the Brewers on News 8 for the home opener. The broadcast picture may have been crystal clear, but the product on the field, a little murky. Jacob and Cade are next.
A morning show that's built just for you. Headlines, weather, and just the right amount of fun. News 8 Now this morning. We'll see you when you wake up.
Tuesday, April 1st is April Fuels Day. Earn a 25-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $40 you spend. Not kidding. Earn a 25-cent fuel saver for every $40. Tuesday, April Fuels Day at Hy-Vee.
A criminal illegal gang member abused a child here in Wisconsin. Now, President Trump's fighting back, but a liberal judge ordered deportation flights to be turned around. We don't need another liberal judge. We need Brad Schimmel, a judge and prosecutor backed by law enforcement. Schimmel protected victims and safeguarded kids. Tough on crime, unwavering in justice. Vote Brad Schimmel on April 1st. Fair Courts America is responsible for the content of this advertising.
My hearing loss symptoms started approximately 20 years ago. Like when you're going down a hill and you need to pop your eardrum, that's the way my ear felt all the time. And that's when we discovered that my hearing was going to gradually get worse. I was done with not being able to hear. So I was a little bit concerned, but coming to the Better Hearing Center is probably one of the best moves I've ever made. I would recommend Better Hearing Center. They're family, and they make you feel like family when you walk in the door.
I'm Brittany Kinzer. I've been a teacher, public school principal, and an education CEO. And I'm running for superintendent because Jill Underly has failed. Underly lowered academic standards. I'll restore them. Underly has overseen a reading crisis. I'll refocus education on reading, writing, and math. And Underly hid MPS financial trouble from voters. I will always be honest with you. I'm Brittany Kinzer. I care about our kids' future, and I'm asking for your vote.
Tuesday, April 1st is April Fuels Day. Earn a 25-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $40 you spend. Not kidding. Earn a 25-cent fuel saver for every $40. Tuesday, April Fuels Day at Hy-Vee.
All of the exciting action from your community. Here's News 8 Now Sports.
It was a rough start to the 2025 campaign for the Brewers, falling to 0-3 after getting swept by the Yankees over the weekend. And the Bronx Bombers knocked out 15 home runs against Milwaukee.
Yeah, 36 runs. It was a rough start, but Milwaukee was looking to get back on track with some success at home this time, taking on the Kansas City Royals.
A bit of a somber start to the day, though, as Bob Uecker was not in attendance for the Crew's first home game for the first time in over 5 decades after passing away back in January.
But there was no shortage of support for the baseball legend, as there was Uecker jerseys and shirts all over the tailgating lots, and even a special tribute video before first pitch. And a couple of fans noted how the day seemed to be missing Mr. Baseball.
I think losing Mr. Uecker was huge for baseball in general, not just the Milwaukee Brewers. We're going to miss him.
A summer day is sitting outside when it's really nice and you got Uecker in the background talking, and that's a perfect day. So that's the way it's been for my life for many years. So that's what I always look forward to.
Home opener for the Crew, looking to avoid their first 0-4 start since 2015. And not the way you want to get things going in this one off the bat. Already down 1-0 when Hunter Renfroe hits a frozen rope to left field. With a couple Royals on, that makes it 3-0 away side. Then 4-0 in the 7th before Salvador Perez gets into one, skying it into left field, and it is gone to extend the Kansas City lead. The Royals put this one to bed in that 7th inning with 6 runs total in the frame. Jonathan India with a bullet to left to score a couple more. And the Milwaukee offense was not much better than the pitching today. But here's one of the few highlights. Jackson Churio goes the opposite way to make it 10-1. But there would be no comeback today. The shorthanded Brewers dropped this one 11-1 to the Royals. But despite the very slow start to the season and the slew of injuries, the reigning NL Manager of the Year still believes in this team.
I mean, worry's a waste of time. We just got to get busy. We got great people in that room, and I believe in that room. I believe in this team. You guys can laugh at me if you want, but I believe in this team. And I believe that they'll learn from this. It's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to be in a different spot now where you're not sweeping your first series. And it's a lot of these guys are still very, very young in the game.
And Cade, the Brewers will have to turn things around a little bit quicker here as they're falling behind in the NL Central. Don't want to give up too much ground here early on in the season.
No, they don't, but hopefully they can get some reinforcements on that pitching staff, and they've also got a chance to get back in this series tomorrow at 6:40 and then on Wednesday at 12:10.
All right, that'll do it for us here from AmFam Field. We've got more news coming up next.
Brad Schimmel would ban abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest or the mother's health, and jail doctors who perform them. You have the right to make your own health care decisions. Don't let Brad Schimmel take that right away.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources now. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org.
It's weird to admit, but it's true. I'm selling Chevys. 2024 Malibus to be exact, starting at $17,890, $299 down and $299 per month. It's Malibu Madness. And they feature great options including heated seats, remote start, Apple CarPlay, and up to 36 miles per gallon. All have low miles with remaining factory warranty. But the bad part is these are getting harder to get. So if you're in the market for an affordable ride, come see us today at Chrysler Winona, Highway 61, Winona.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin invites you to experience the thrill of gaming like never before. With 6 locations across the state, there's something for everyone. Whether you're a slots enthusiast, a poker pro, or prefer the excitement of table games, we've got you covered. Plus, indulge in delicious dining options, live entertainment, and exclusive promotions that add even more excitement to your visit. Come join the fun at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin.
Brad Schimmel would ban abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest or the mother's health, and jail doctors who perform them. You have the right to make your own health care decisions. Don't let Brad Schimmel take that right away.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Well, dogs are helping fight the spread of an invasive species of mussels, and not these puppies right here.
Yeah, mussel dogs are trained to sniff out different types, and the newest invader is apparently the golden mussel. The species, which is native to Asia, is threatening native species and water clarity out in California.
So, enter the mussel dogs. The dogs inspect each boat before it launches to help mitigate the spread.
We teach them to go find their ball in a box and to sit or stare or what have you. And then what we do is we just pair the odor with the ball.
And get this, most of the dogs are rescues, and come summer, they'll be farmed out to different parts of the state using their noses to keep the invasion at bay.
And you were telling us earlier, this would have come in handy for you like when you jumped into the lake and landed on a mussel.
Yeah, I think I was 10 years old at the time, jumping off a pier with some cousins of mine. The cousins landed just fine in the water. I landed right on a zebra mussel, right in the middle of my right foot.
Almost split your foot open.
Almost split the foot open.
If we had the dog, this wouldn't have happened. Yeah. It would have come in handy, right?
I know, what a bummer.
All right, Nicole has a final look at your forecast right after this.
You wouldn't buy the first vehicle you saw.
Trust me, it's perfectly safe.
I'll take it. So don't hire the first personal injury lawyer you call.
Trust me.
Where do I sign? Object to anything less than the best. Call BGR.
There's been a lot of talk about this Supreme Court race, but here's what's really at stake. Brad Schimmel wants to make sure women don't have the right to make their own health care decisions. If he wins, that right is gone. I'm Susan Crawford, a former prosecutor, a common sense judge, and a mom. And I trust women to make their own healthcare decisions. Brad Schimmel doesn't, but I always will. And that's why I'm asking for your vote.
Culligan helps you take control of your home's water with the world's most efficient softeners and drinking water systems. Culligan also gives you more control of your wallet with a variety of payment options. For better water and finances that fit, contact your local water expert today.
You're thinking about new windows and doors. I've been thinking about new windows and doors for over 40 years. You're thinking about the best window at the best price. I'm thinking about the best window at the best price for you. The best quality, installed by professional installers at a fair price. If you're planning new windows and doors, you owe it to yourself to contact the Board Store Home Improvements for a prompt free estimate. You'll be glad you did. Contact us today.
At Spectrum, we believe every day unlocks unlimited possibilities to bring you closer to the people and places you love. Spectrum transforms your gaming experience into a galaxy of adventures. And with the fastest, most reliable internet, you're always front row to the entertainment you love, no matter where you are. Get Spectrum Internet Premier for $30 per month when bundled plus a 3-year price guarantee. Call 1-833-440-0029. Spectrum Internet puts streaming live TV, sports, and popular apps all at your fingertips.
Sunken or uneven concrete only worsens with time. Due to changing seasons, stress on the slab, or poorly compacted soil, your sunken concrete won't get better with time, but it will with our modern solutions. Choose American Waterworks.
Hiring the wrong personal injury attorney can cost you a lot. Researching personal injury attorneys costs you nothing. We're confident that your research will lead you to buy Goff and Rooney. BGR, object to anything less than the best.
We got another chance of snow passing through tomorrow evening, hopefully our last. It's not unusual to see snow throughout the month of April, but I'm sure we're all kind of ready for it to start winding down a little bit. After that, some thunderstorms, but kind of quieting down after that.
All right.
We like it. That does it for us tonight at 10.
We'll see you tomorrow.